Bears fans, I hate to do this video, but I have to because, it has to be out there that out of the previous, arguments that I've been in with Bears fans when Trubisky was the quarterback, I've been called stupid for defending Trubisky. I've been called, biased. I've been called many things when the Bears had Trubisky as their quarterback. And I'm one of the few Trubisky people that, actually wanted the Bears to keep him. Because maybe he wasn't that elite like Mahomes or Watson was, but at least we did something with Trubisky than the scrap that left behind him. And I know our coaching staff is the worst, but fellas, I'm going to be completely honest with you. If I had to put any blame on the season, whose fault was it? I wouldn't say it was Matt Nagy because, to be honest, we already knew what we were going to get out of Matt Nagy. Same with Ryan Pace. I put this on the ownership for even thinking that these guys are capable of running this franchise next year. What record are we right now? 4-8. No, 4-9. 4-9. Sorry, a little bit tired after last night's game. So we're 4-9, and we brought back the people that that said that, we're going to be better than we were last year. 8-8 was not good enough, folks. The max win if we win out this entire year is 8. That's not good. And this is the same coaching staff and organization that said that they were going to have a better record than they were the past 2 years. Folks, I had to inform you that the biggest mistake was keeping Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. But I don't even have to get to Matt Nagy. I'll just get to Ryan Pace, because now, do I think Ryan Pace made a lot of good moves as when he was hired? Yes. Drafting Tariq Cohen, getting Eddie Jackson, getting Roquan, getting James Daniels, drafting Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borom, who have been, the best linemen out of the draft class. But I'm going to ask you football people a question, not Bears fans. I'm going to run down the names of our CBs, except for Jalen, because everybody knows who Jalen Johnson is. And tell me in the comment section if you know them or not, personally. Kendall Vildor, Duke Shelley, Xavier Crawford, Thomas Graham Jr. Do you know any of those players? I guarantee you most of them probably only know Kendall Vildor because I bitch about him all the time. But I guarantee you nobody that's a football fan knows who they are. But I agree Kyle Fuller is bad in Denver, but what in Ryan Pace's mind that thought that he would go into the season with a young CB core like this? Kendall Vildor has given up the most QB. He has allowed every quarterback to look good this season. Most of our blown coverages are by Kendall Vildor this season. I could pull up 50 blown coverages by Kendall Vildor this season. Against the Ravens, Tyler Huntley on that last drive, Kendall Vildor gave up costly defensive pass interference and gave up a huge play to Sammy Watkins. Kendall Vildor is not a good CB. He's a good nickel. He's possibly, at best, a good nickel back. But we should have at least signed at least a decent replacement for Kyle Fuller, because our CBs are like our CB core is probably the worst in the NFL. Like, you're probably going to see a lot of explosive plays from the Vikings because Jalen's out because of COVID, and Deshaun Gibson is also out. So expect a lot of explosive plays tonight. I hope we win, but folks, do you believe we're going to beat the Vikings because of the COVID list that we have? Do you really think about that's like, I know I had a little bit of, we're going to beat the Vikings, but that was before we had like 20 players like on the fucking COVID list. So I commend Ryan Pace for what he's done. Thank you for drafting our quarterback, Justin Fields, but I just don't think that. I think it's the best we part ways with you and Matt Nagy as well, but Bears fans, don't expect Matt Nagy to be fired right after this game, because, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. You guys, Bears fans, did a huge mistake, saying, oh, Matt Nagy's a good coach. It's just Trubisky's the problem. He can't read a defense, this and that. Like, I take, talent. Obviously, talent-wise, Fields is better than Trubisky. But when it comes to, we have a winning record with Trubisky despite of the shit coaching staff that we had around him. And I know Fields is a rookie, but, folks, outside of Trubisky, our quarterbacks have losing records under this offense. With Trubisky, we have a 29-21 record as him being the starter. Nick Foles, 2-5. Dalton, 2 wins and only 5 losses. And Justin Fields, who's been our permanent starter for this season, I know he was the backup, but he got thrown in at 2-7. And I know the coaching staff hasn't been nice, but I'm being honest, folks. Bears fans made a huge mistake of, thinking that was all Trubisky. But anyway, I hope we win, but I don't think we will, seeing the COVID list from yesterday. So then again, Kirk Cousins sucks on Monday Night Football, but it's probably for the best that the Bears don't even win out, because that would just give the offense an excuse to keep Matt Nagy. So, later.